Hello students, good morning. Let us discuss today the liberalization of foreign trade and foreign investment policy from globalization and the Indian economy. Okay, the lesson that we are exploring the various aspects of the globalization and different effects of the globalization and how MNCs play an important role in facilitating the globalization process and also makes the entire market system of the world very much integrated and connected. So in this today's video, we are going to discuss about the liberalization of foreign trade and foreign investment policy. First of all, we'll discuss one of the example that how liberalization is important and why liberalization is recently developed factor all over the world, especially in the foreign trade and investment. So let us see that one of the example of to understand the barrier or to understand the obstacle or the problems, okay, which prevent the trade to do export and import freely. Okay. Yesterday we discussed that you might have remembered the example of Chinese toys in India. Okay, now every year most of the Chinese toys sells in Indian market. Okay, they are very cheap, their designs are well, and the production is very high, and that is why Chinese toys mostly sold in Indian market. Now, what happened in this case or in this example? If Indian government decide to impose tax, or if Indian government decided to impose tax, okay, or duty on Chinese toys, what will happen? The Chinese toy makers have to pay high prices. Okay, Chinese toy makers to pay the high prices for the government, and okay, and they have to pay a huge tax to the Indian government. So whenever they will give tax to the Indian government, they will also increase the prices of toys in Indian market. In this way, in turn, this high price will be again borne by the customers, okay, or the consumers. In this way, the tax that Chinese toy manufacturing companies are paying to the Indian government, this will also increase the prices of the toys in Indian market. Therefore, Indian people, that is customers or consumers who are purchasing toys, okay, have to pay high prices. In this condition, the tax which is imposed on the import is an example of trade barrier. Okay, trade barrier. So many countries, when they import different things, okay, they usually impose taxes. Okay, for example, if our products, commodities, and goods are sold in another country, then that time in another country's government, okay, they impose taxes on Indian imports, so that Indian manufacturers and traders and businessmen, they faces a lot of problems. Okay, these people or traders or merchants cannot do freely trade. Okay, there is no free of trade. If there is any tax on import or export, then it would be very difficult to do trade activities freely. That is why tax on imports, on any imports, is a trade barrier. It is an example of trade barrier. Okay, suppose you might be knowing, I will give an example to understand the trade barrier. Okay, that is, suppose if any person, okay, comes from Madikapur or Bodli to sell their products in Gadchiroli. Okay, or if any Gadchiroli person goes to Madikapur and Bodli, okay, to sell some things, some goods or some items. Okay, in that case, the Gram Panchayat body, okay, in Madikapur or Bodli, they collect some amount of money. Sometimes it is 10 rupees, 20 rupees, or 50 rupees, or depending on the goods and its volume. Okay, 100 rupees. This type of money is collected from the person who is coming from Gadchiroli to Madikkum to sell his products. This money which is collected from him to sell his products in entire village. Okay, the money which is collected, it is a type of tax. It is a type of tax. So tax on imports is a trade barrier. Tax on imports is a trade barrier. Again, when the Sunday market, okay, Sunday market is there in Gadchiroli. Okay, in these Sunday markets, the vegetable vendors who sells vegetables and other items, okay, on Sunday, from all vegetable vendors, the person who has taken the tender of that market collects the money. So it is a type of tax. So they have to pay some amount of money to get right to sell their products in that particular market. This is a type of tax. So this tax sometimes create problem to sell the goods and services, because if these are some of the examples which are small, okay, which are small and which cannot consider the money which is collected from them is cannot consider very big. But what about MNCs, multinational companies which are coming from another country, and if Indian government put taxes, or if Indian government impose taxes on their import or trading activities, it would be a great problem for them to trade freely. So keep in mind, tax on imports is a trade barrier. Trade barrier means what? There is problem in doing the trade freely. That is barrier. Okay. So tax on import is an example of trade barrier. So what happened here? Government can use this trade barrier, okay, to increase or decrease foreign trade. Okay, if Indian government has put barriers on Chinese toy makers, okay, then what happened? Many Chinese toy makers would not come in India, as they have to pay a huge amount of money to the Indian government in the form of tax. Okay, therefore, definitely the import from China, that is Chinese toys, will automatically reduce from Indian market. And this would also give opportunity to the Indian toy makers to prosper and flourish in the market within the country. That is why it is an important weapon. Okay, it is an important weapon, or it is an important factor. Okay, trade barrier, where government can use it to increase or decrease trade, foreign trade. Suppose if government want more and more investment and trading activities from Germany, then Indian government would remove the trade barriers from German companies. So German companies will come in India and they will invest and will do trade freely. Okay, so in this way, foreign trade from Germany will increase. But if Indian government decide not to have import from China, okay, Indian government has decided to reduce the Chinese toys from Indian market. So it has to put taxes on Chinese toy makers, okay, so that they should their production and their flow in the Indian market should automatically decrease. Okay, so I hope that you have understood the example of trade barrier, okay, with various practical examples. So keep in mind, government can use trade barrier to increase or decrease foreign trade. Okay, so in this way, these are some of the important strategies that government can do, okay, in respect to the foreign trade and foreign investment. Let us see now, along with all these trade barriers, okay, there is one question: why does India put barriers on foreign trade and investment? Now there is question: India also put barriers. India also put restrictions on foreign trade and investment. So what was the reason why it did not remove the trade barriers to bring the foreign investment and foreign trade in India? What were the reasons? What were the objectives behind putting the barriers on the foreign trade and investment? Let us see. Number one, to protect the producers from foreign competition. Now you know that MNCs are very powerful, okay, in wealth. their budget is sometimes more, or their budget is sometimes very much big than the budget of developing countries in the Africa and other countries. So MNCs have influence, the great influence on the different countries. Okay, they have huge power and wealth. Therefore, such MNCs are very competitive. Okay, they have skilled and unskilled labor. They are prepared with all kinds of factors. So therefore, if such MNCs come in India, okay, what will happen? The local companies, okay, local MNCs in India would not be able to compete with the foreign MNCs as they are very much strong. That is why Indian government decided to put barriers on the foreign trade and investment, because it can protect the domestic producers, it can protect the country's producers from foreign competition. Okay, this is one important objective behind this trade barrier. Second, to make producers enough strong to compete with the foreign MNCs. Okay, because in India you might be knowing that we already discussed in the geography lesson that in India many factories and companies began coming, okay, in the 1950 to 1960. Okay, so from that time, many producers were not very much strong to compete with the foreign MNCs. Okay, producers were having less wealth and power with them. So therefore, Indian government put barriers on foreign trade and investment, because to make all these producers and local companies enough strong, okay, to compete with the foreign MNC. This is one of the important factor. And third, essential items only during that period, only essential items such as machinery, fertilizers, petroleum allowed through imports from foreign countries. Okay, so keep in mind why India put barriers on foreign trade and investment, because to protect the to protect the domestic producers, okay, from foreign competition, and to make the local producers and domestic producers enough strong in power and wealth to compete with the foreign MNC. Otherwise, what would happen if foreign companies and MNCs would allowed by the Indian government in 1950 and 60, then it would completely eradicate the Indian manufacturers and traders. Okay, and there would be only what we can say power. There would be only power in the hands of foreign MNCs. Okay, it means we ironically can say that the entire control of our country would be controlled by the MNCs if MNCs would be allowed in early period during the 1950 and 1960. But Indian government did not do so, because Indian government realized that Indian producers and domestic traders and merchants should and their companies should become enough strong to compete with the foreign MNCs, and that is why this decision was taken. So dear students, I hope that you have understood what is meant by foreign trade and what is foreign investment policy. Okay, and why Indian government put barriers. Now let us discuss the other part. Now, contrasting to this question, why did Indian government remove trade barriers after 1991? The answer is simple. The answer is completely opposite. That Indian government decided and realized that now the time has come to remove the trade barriers and to make the foreign trade and foreign investment free, so that any companies from any countries should come in India and they invest in various industries and businesses and trading activities, so that it can boost the Indian economy. Okay, it can prosper and develop the Indian economy. That is why did Indian government remove trade barriers after 1991? Now keep in mind, after 1991, actually the globalization came in India. Okay, removing trade barriers from all kinds of restriction is called liberalization. So actually, and this removing trade barriers means globalization came in India. Okay, so after 1991, Indian government realized that now time has come to invest foreign trade and foreign policies, okay, foreign investment in Indian business and trade. So therefore, it allowed them and it removed trade barriers and made the trade free. So what were the reasons behind it? See, now time has come to compete with foreign MNCs because Indian companies became MNC. Indian company emerged as MNCs and multinational corporations. Okay, they were big in power and wealth. Therefore, they would now easily compete with the foreign MNCs. That is why trade barriers were removed from the foreign trade and foreign investment. Second, competition would improve the performance and quality within the country, because if there are many competitors, okay, in the form of MNCs which are coming from different countries in India, this would also improve the performance of the Indian MNCs, okay, and it also leads to the quality of the different types of products. So quality and performance can definitely improve by allowing foreign MNCs in India and by removing trade barrier. So that is why government removed trade barrier. And third, to import and export goods easily. This is also one way that Indian MNCs become enough strong to compete with the foreign MNCs. Okay, and many Indian goods and commodities and services, okay, were also produced in large number, and these we need to export to other countries. So we are exporting to other countries freely. Okay, then we should also allow foreign MNCs to invest in Indian market and businesses freely. So therefore, after removing trade barriers, okay, import and export of various goods and commodities becomes easy. Okay, so that is why, keep in mind students, this question can also be asked for 3 marks and this question can also be asked 3 marks, okay, in the board examination. That is why you remember these two questions very systematically. Now let us move. By discussing all these things, okay, we can come close to the definition of liberalization. What is meant by liberalization? We already discussed in the history, I think so. So liberalization is, this word comes from liberty. Liberty is free. Okay, liber is meaning free. So what is meant by liberalization? Removing barriers or restrictions set by the government is called liberalization. Okay, now suppose listen, Gadchiroli Chamber of Commerce, which is the Merchants Association, decided not to allow any village people to come in Gadchiroli and to sell anything. Suppose this is called trade barrier. So many villagers will not come in Gadchiroli, in urban, the actual city, okay, in the city to sell their products. So what will happen? This would be called as trade barrier. Okay, there is problem, there is barrier, there is obstacle to sell all these products freely in Gadchiroli. Okay, but now Gadchiroli Association decided to remove all those barriers and allow villagers to come in Gadchiroli and to sell their products freely. This is a type of liberalization. This is a type of liberalization where trade becomes free. Okay, without any restrictions and without any limitations. So liberalization is removing barriers or restrictions set by the government on import. This is called liberalization. So liberalization is removing all trade barriers and making the trade free, okay, to export and import goods very easily. So with the liberalization, what would happen? With the liberalization of trade, businesses are allowed to take their decisions freely. Businesses and trading activities, okay, traders and merchants and industrialists, they were made to take decisions freely about the trading activities. So this is called liberalization. So dear students, I hope that you have understood this particular part well, and once again you read the lesson carefully and try to understand that liberalization of foreign trade, how foreign trade has been liberalized, how foreign trade was made free, okay, to allow different MNCs to come in India and to invest in different business activities. Okay, this you have to understood. And the second, foreign trade and investment have barriers were put, definition of liberalization. So liberalization is making trade free from any restrictions. Okay, this is called liberalization. So I hope you have understood this part well. We will meet again tomorrow with the next part. Thank you.